Don't worry, Mr. O'Connell. Your insurance will cover it. That line alone told me the cardiac rehab service was overpriced. It was late winter, 2001. I was mending from heart bypass surgery and shopping for a prescribed exercise rehab facility. I was told about the measured walks around a track at this state-of-the-art facility, and walking was something I loved to do. And the distance prescribed was not a factor, and yes, it was overpriced. I figured I could do this on my own. A walk around the west end of Jones Beach was 3 miles. While measuring the distance the next day, I came upon a notice. Seasonal help wanted, part-time laborers, $6.91 an hour. I was hired and told the starting date would be mid-April. On April 16th, my boss, Quinny, handed me a hat, pair of gloves, and a pick stick, and told me to go out and pick anything that didn't grow. Along the bay, past the Coast Guard station, beside the inlet, and back again. Mostly plastic, buckets, fishing tackle, bottles, and many deflated party balloons. I love the freedom of walking alone. Fresh air, flora starting to bloom in the brush, and mostly the quiet. A communion with nature, my own rehab. Most employees during the summer months were high school or college students. I was known as the old guy, or the crazy old guy, when I suggested they change the bucket water before mopping the restrooms each morning. After a while, I never spoke much to anyone, kept to myself. Things seemed to work better that way. I was there to gain my physical strength, not make friends with kids young enough to be my children. At lunch, I would sit in my car, looking out at the ocean with sandwich and jug of water, radio playing, music of your life. And now, the #1 tune of 1955, Perez Prado's Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White. As the trumpet slid down and then up before the melody, my eyes closed and drifted back to Rockaway Beach in the summer of '55, my mother handing me an egg salad sandwich wrapped in wax paper and a cheese glass filled with grape Kool-Aid. Now, thinking that I sit here, 15 miles to the east, looking at the same ocean, same tune, while trying to preserve that mambo spirit in my heart. My summer job was just what the doctor ordered, minus the egg salad, now replaced with lettuce and tomato. The Kool-Aid went out with asbestos. My last day would be September 13th, a Thursday. On Friday, I was scheduled to start rehearsals for Arthur Miller's All My Sons out at the Hampton Theater Company in Quogue. This beach job was actually a good physical warm-up for that role. On the early morning of Tuesday, September 11th, with my helper Robert next to me in the cab of our pickup, we set out to pick the beach. While driving along the high tide line where most of the debris lines up, Don Imus's voice came crackling through our walkie-talkie. Imus said that a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center. My first thoughts were that this was some silly radio prank, but soon learned differently. Just then, a feeling came over me similar to the morning in January when I was wheeled onto an elevator to go up to the operating room. Cleanly scrubbed, all was out of my hands. I prayed that morning on the beach as I did on the elevator at St. Francis Hospital. My heart ached for the victims, their families, for all of us. And I knew that morning what my young co-workers were to find out, that we are helpless at times, and at times we are the helpers.